Hope everyone is fine. And today we are going to continue with transport Naimon, and we are going to talk about immune system. And this topic will have not come at a better time than this, because with the headache of corona almost every day, listen to the people being infected, the people being affected, this disease, installation to immune system. So it goes down to what we call immunity. And we are going to talk about what we call immune responses. Now, I believe you talked, when we cannot talk about immune response before we talk about antigens and antibodies. Now, when we talk about immune system, it's simply the production of what we call antibodies in response to antigen. The production of antibodies in response to antigens is called antibody. What do I mean? Antigen are disease-causing organisms. It can be fungi, it can be bacteria, it can be virus. For example, coronavirus is an example of antigen. So once this antigen has been introduced into our body, then the next thing that's going to happen, the body is going to produce what we call an antibody. Once an antigen has been introduced into your body is going to produce what we call antibody. Then this antibody is being produced in response to this antigen that has been introduced into the body. Now, after that, what happens? Antibodies are meant to suppress or rather fight the effect of antigen in the body. An antigen, as I say, it can be viruses, bacteria, fungi. They are protein in nature. An antibody is also protein in nature. And they are complementary. That's why they are able to fight. They are able to fight the antigen. This means that specific antibody is with a specific antigen to make it dangerous. An antibody cannot give any other antigen. It has to be specific. Now, what happens? When antigen is introduced to the body, we have two parts of the body: bone marrow and thymus. Now, bone marrow will be producing complementary phagocytes, or rather white blood cell, while thymus will be producing what we call lymphocytes. So, an harmful organism or proteins that invade the body, lymphocytes produce complementary antibodies, while bone marrow and thymus will produce more phagocytes and lymphocytes. So bone marrow is producing the white blood cells, while the thymus will be producing. Now, types of immunity. You have two types of immunity that you want to deal with. Yeah. The first type of immunity is called natural immunity. The second type of immunity is called artificial immunity. Natural immunity is also called innate immunity. Inborn. It's something you inherit from your parents. The kind of immunity that you inherit from your parents, the one which you are born with, is called natural immunity. While artificial immunity can be natural or induced. Now, how can an artificial be natural? Now, for example, you are attacked by a disease, a mild form of that disease, like chickenpox, measles, and mumps. Now, once this disease attacks you in a mild form, and mild form means it doesn't kill you. What happens is that when you recover from such kind of diseases, your body will keep the memory for such kind of disease, such that if this disease attacks you again in future, your body had already been alerted about the possibility of occurrence of this disease. So you find that you can easily develop resistance to any subsequent infection. Now, it can either be the disease coming back, or you can be exposed to the pathogens that cause this disease. So this disease can either come back to attack you, or you can be exposed to pathogens that is causing this disease. You find that you are able to resist this disease. This is called naturally acquired immunity. Natural immunity. Then there's another part whereby you find that they can introduce a dead pathogen into your system, or a weakened one. For example, everybody is waiting for the coronavirus vaccine. They can attenuate it. This means weakened. They can introduce the weak form of that virus, because if they introduce the strong one, it can kill you. So they can introduce the weak form of that virus, or a dead form of virus, such that when it's introduced in your body, you find that the antibodies will be produced against it, and the body will keep that immunity. When now such kind of a pathogen now comes in attack, your body is already having that memory, and the antibodies are able to destroy the antigens, so that it keeps you safe. And this is the principle on which vaccine operates. You've seen people being vaccinated against polio, measles. Now, when that happens, that's what we call artificial acquired immunity. Unlike the people who have never been attacked, who have never been exposed, when that strong version of this kind of pathogen comes and attacks you, then they are likely to kill you. But once you are exposed to attenuated or weakened form of this disease, later in life when it comes to attack you, it finds when the memory of your antibody is still fresh and they are able to destroy that bacteria. Indeed, those who have been exposed to mild forms of TB will not suffer as those who have not been exposed. Now, for example, you see when children are given birth to, they have exposed to this mild form called the dead one. So when attenuated, as I said, weakened or dead microorganisms are introduced into a healthy person, the liver cells synthesize the antibodies which are released into the lymph and eventually reach the blood. The antibody destroy the invading organism. The body retains the memory, the structure of the antigen. Rapid response is ensured in subsequent infection. Vaccine generally contain attenuated disease causing. So when finally the treatment or rather the vaccine for corona is out, that will form what we call, or rather will contain a weakened form of the virus, the one which cannot kill you. So that once it is introduced into your body, next thing we know that when you are attacked, your body has retained the memory of the structure of that coronavirus. So that when it is produced, or rather corona, you are attacked by the virus, your antibodies can easily destroy the virus. Now, another type of artificial immunity we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about artificial passive acquired immunity. Artificial passive acquired immunity. Now, what is artificial acquired passive immunity? We find that there are some instances whereby your body cannot produce antibodies against some antigens. So what they do, they can take or rather obtain such antibodies from a different type of organism, then introduce it into your body at that time to fight diseases at that time. This kind of immunity is never long lasting. It lasts for a short time. And this antibody that they have obtained and put into your body to fight for you is called antiserum. An example of antiserum is mother's milk. There are some diseases that the infant's immune system cannot fight. So, the mother's milk contains some antiserum, so that when a child drinks that milk, is going to produce the antibodies inside that milk is going to help in fighting it. That's why I really get sad when I see some mothers really struggling to have their baby stop suckling at a very early age. Breast has some kind of antibodies that are healthy for that growing kid. So, a newborn will acquire this passive immunity through milk. So, this immunity will help the newborn to fight against some diseases. That's why we have to ensure that the baby is breastfed well and as long as possible, so that the immunity or the antibodies that are obtained from milk can help this child fight diseases. So thank you for today. We're going to end up at that point. Next time we're going to talk about the importance of vaccination. Why do we need this vaccination? Have a good day.